Hey, it's Robert here from empoweredlife.tv. I hope you're having a spectacular day wherever you are in the world today. Now, in today's video, I want to discuss the 12 universal laws one by one. We've got two columns here, beginning with 1 and 7, because the two we know the most about are the law of divine oneness and the law of attraction. But there's a whole stack beneath both of those that we're going to as well, so that you get a complete understanding of the 12 universal laws. So let's get started. Firstly, number 1, the law of divine oneness. Now, this law basically suggests that everything and everyone in the universe is connected and a part of the larger whole. The only separation exists in your interpretation of what's going on. If you feel separate, it's because you're creating that feeling of separateness. We are, in fact, all connected to source energy. We come from source energy and we return to source energy. So really, to think harmful thoughts towards somebody is in effect like thinking harmful thoughts towards yourself, if that makes sense. Even though you may feel separate, you're absolutely not separate. And when you think of things in this way, it can really change the way you look at the people around you. Because really, when you look at the people around you, you're looking at you. You're looking at the entire entity of the cosmos, the entire essence of the entire universe that you live in. It might be a lot to comprehend now, but that's the way it is. We are all connected. So number 2, the law of vibration. Now, this law suggests that everything in the universe is in a constant state of motional flux, including energy, sound, and light. Nothing is solid. That we know to be true. If you were to put your hand underneath a microscope and study it, you would see loads and loads of atoms all moving around. Nothing is solid. It just appears to be so. Everything is fluid, and everything is energy. And like energy will attract like energy. So if you're putting out negative energy into the universe, you're going to get it back. The universe will match you up with what you're putting out. So if you want more of the good stuff, you've got to put out more of the good stuff, if that makes sense. A little bit like the old computer phrase, garbage in, garbage out, applies here too. So number 3, and 4 decided to pop up and everything else as well. But number 3, the law of action. This law suggests that in order to manifest our desires, we must take action towards achieving them. It's really important to get a handle on this. Why? Because when people think of the law of attraction, and a lot of it has come from the movie The Secret, which, by the way, was a great movie, but it did lead people to think they could just sit down, wish for something, and it would show up. That ain't the way it works. Let's look at the word attraction. Okay, you've got 10 letters in the word attraction, 6 of which make up the word action. Take action from attraction, you have absolutely nothing. Zilch. You need to take action or nothing's going to happen. Number 4, the law of correspondence. This law suggests that our external reality reflects our internal state of being. Again, as we are within, it's what we experience without. You get more of who you are, because who you are determines what you put out into the universe, and the universe will correspond. Number 5, the law of cause and effect. Now, this law suggests that every action has a corresponding reaction or consequence. That's absolutely true. Everything is cause and effect. Most of what shows up in your external reality, however, is effect. So what's the cause, you may ask? The cause is you. You are the mitigating factor in all of it. If you make a different decision or think a different thought, then the reality will show up differently. Number 6, the law of compensation. This law suggests that we will be rewarded or compensated for our actions and contributions in life. There is nothing like a free lunch, but it doesn't exist, right? Free lunches don't exist. Even in universal law, the more you give, the more you get. But you see it in nature every day. But here's the great thing about the law of compensation and the way the universe works. If you plant one seed, you don't just get one flower or one vegetable. Like as not, you're going to get many things coming off that one seed. And that's the beauty of the way the law of the universal principles work. So number 7 is one we all know, right? The law of attraction. It suggests that we attract into our lives what we focus on and give attention to. But again, remember that the law of attraction relies on action to actually work the way we want it to. So if you want stuff to show up in your reality, take some action. Number 8, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This law suggests that we have the power to transform and transmute our energy into any form we desire. Given the fact that everything in the universe is fluid, it's not solid, it is malleable, which means that our thoughts and our actions can change the outcome. You can attract different stuff. If you don't like what's showing up right now, if you don't like what you're creating for yourself, make a different choice, make a better choice, and watch what happens. Number 9, the law of relativity. This law suggests that everything in life is relative and subjective, and that we can only understand something in comparison to something else. This is so true. And most of us go through life comparing ourselves to the best version of what it is we think we need to be. And by virtue of that fact, what we do is we pale into insignificance in our own feeling about ourselves because we're comparing ourselves to somebody outstanding. It's very rare that we ever compare ourselves to somebody who isn't as good as us, which would have a positive effect on our self-esteem. We do the opposite. So it's very, very important to be able to pull yourself away from comparing yourself always to other people. Because whilst if you do it the right way, it can be tremendously motivated and inspiring. If you do it the wrong way and compare yourself to people who make you look as if you're not as good as you feel you should be, then that's going to have a negative effect on everything you try to achieve in life. Number 10, the law of polarity. This law suggests that everything in the universe has an opposite or a polar opposite, and that we need to experience both sides in order to understand and appreciate them. Everything has balance, yin and yang. The universe will always apply an equal force to whatever's put to it. That's why when you hear people say, oh, I'm just going to work hard, I'm going to push, I'm going to fight. Well, here's the thing. The harder you push, the harder you fight, the harder the universe will push you back. As with nature again, let's return to nature. Everything in the universe that's meant to happen the way it should happen does so without effort, does so without friction. If you want to get to where you want to be faster with less stress, then you need to relax more and go with the flow. Align yourself to source energy and go with the flow. Stop swimming upstream. Who said everything you want is upstream anyway, right? Number 11, the law of rhythm. This law suggests that everything in the universe has a natural rhythm and flow, and that we must learn to tune into and align with that rhythm. That is source energy. Going back to the stream analogy, you don't want to be swimming upstream. You can turn around and go with the current. And if you were in a canoe, hey, you can pull the oars in and just let yourself drift downstream. Now you might say, how about I stick the oars in the water and row as hard as I can to get there sooner? That ain't the way the universe works. Let the universe take care of it. Trust in the universe, and the flow will get you to where you need to be when you need to be there to get what it is that you need. Number 12, the law of gender. This law suggests that everything in the universe has a masculine and feminine aspect, and that we need to balance and integrate both aspects within ourselves. The logical and the creative, the feminine and the masculine, they all play a part in who we are and the world that we live in and our experiences. And there has to be balance in every aspect of life. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I love making them for you. I'm here every week. So subscribe to the channel if you love this stuff, like the video, and comment, of course, and I'll answer all. And if you love all things personal development, get across to empoweredlife.tv. See you soon.